Yo, JD here to all limits, and as you can see, we are finally doing a career mode, and we are going to be in the McLaren Honda this season, which may come as a little bit of a surprise to some people, but I just felt it was a really good car to be in because it's relatively near the front of the pack, so it'd be good some battles through here, but not slow enough to be pretty much being lapped every single race. So hopefully you enjoy this career mode. This episode was a lot of fun to make, and I'm really am hoping to try and complete this season. We'll see how it goes, but for this first episode, it's definitely the most fun I've ever had doing a career mode, so fingers crossed. So if you do like this video, then please leave a like, it really will help me out, and just leave anything you want me to improve on for like the next race, anything you want me to slightly change, like maybe with the sayings or just general, just the presentation of the career mode, then just let me know down below in the comments. So you can see now, just looking a little bit of our R&D as we've been setting our objectives for this career. So that's basically to beat our teammate, and I believe to get above 12th place in the championship. So for McLaren, that's just absolutely insane. You'd always expect them to be near the front. So we're going to try and do the McLaren name justice here as we're moving straight into qualifying. So practice was, I felt pretty comfortable in practice, scraping just about near the top 10, just within the top 10. So hoping for a good run here now. So making our way to the line. We'll go to see, we're on the super soft tire, so I had a little bit of practice of that, obviously through in the practice sessions I was running some super soft runs. So we'll go stay on board for this full lap here now, and as we did AOR, stay in 7th gear, 2nd gear to get right into the corner, 3rd gear, use maximum track as possible. And this lap felt pretty nice. It felt like an improved ever so slightly, because obviously these cars feel so much different to compared to the equal cars, and this is just a lot more understeer. So you can see now they're a little bit deep into that corner, so not as tight as I would have liked for that one. And coming to this next right hander, a very difficult corner, one of the most important on the track, because it really will give you a slingshot effect coming into this middle straight now. So we'll get a little bit tangled on the exit there, so a little bit too much oversteer. So you can see the balance of a car at the start of the season is not how we would actually like it at the moment. So you can see, try and take as much curb as possible through both these corners, keep it nice and tight through here now, staying tight to the right, minimise the distance off the track, 100-metre board as usual, going down the 3rd gear, get the bite into the corner, and for this up into 5th, and then as you go into the shadow, that's your 4th gear, run out wide down the curb, just before the brake marker board on the right hand side, that's your turning point. One short shoot into this last corner just to minimise the wheel spin. Coming off here now, DRSO as you can, making our way to the line, and if I can read that screen properly, hopefully we'll be in a 26. I believe it is a 26.5, and that felt okay. It felt like it could have gone a little bit better than that. I think I've seen quite low 26s in the practice, but you can see now that was only good enough for 13th, so I was actually kind of surprised, but actually does show that how good the Ultimate AI is, which is really good to see compared to other F1 games. And oh my god, it is wet weather conditions. And I'm not saying oh my god, because I hate the wet. I absolutely love the wet, probably even better, a better driver in the wet in this game, in the dry at least. But the changeable conditions, as we know from AOR China, rest in peace, had a little bit of a meltdown there of the changing conditions, as that's not my strong point and something I really need to work on in this game. And you may notice throughout this Grand Prix that I have my race engineer actually on now, and I've actually sorted that issue out, and that was through me not enabling it just through the headset, through everything. But you can see, going to start the race now, 5 lights, and away we go now into lean mix, 13th place, and we're getting quite a good start. This traction, or the setup I'm running here today, has got really good traction. Not that high wings, because we'll be losing too much speed down the straight, but really a traction dependent setup. So you can see we've already made up 1 place into that first corner on Hulkenberg, and you can see the cars are scurrying around themselves. The AI are a little bit tripping over themselves, but they're squeezed out at the moment by Gutierrez and the Haas. And you can see our teammate Alonso, it's just slamming down the inside. So he really wants to beat me this race, and I've chosen him as his teammate because obviously he's one of the best drivers of the grid in my opinion. So we can see what we can do now. You can see now how close all the cars are together, and it's literally just a massive, I was going to say caterpillar, but I won't say that, a massive train then pretty much on lap 1. So right behind our teammate now, both of us in the points, so looking good from McLaren, both making up point or places on the grid at least, and it's looking good. Intermediate tyres, a tyre that has not served me well or brung me much fortune on this game. Whenever they've been introduced, I really haven't done well on this game, so hoping to rectify that and really get a strategy on point, making use of my race engineers. Let's go down the inside of our teammate, leaving him or squeeze him a little bit, just to send him a message that we are not just here for the number 2 driver in this team. We are here to bring the fight and hopefully maybe win the championship one day. I say that, but whenever I do say that, we normally don't. But we can see now, right behind the Williams of Bottas, going down into turn 3 now, or turn 2, and that is a move done once again. And now we managed to pull a little bit of a gap in him, because our pace, as you can see now, well, I thought it was going to go purple, but it wasn't then. Our pace has been really good this race. I think we actually have set the fastest lap. You can see Verstappen and Bottas again are actually ahead of us into this corner, so we can see a little bit of scurrying for position here. We're going to go down the inside and just see the pure traction we get on the Williams. So as I was saying before, the traction we've got in this setup is working really well, and in the wet, traction is pretty much everything that you need in order to do well. So you can see that is us into 6th place. So we've made up 7 positions in this race in the space of 5 laps. So everything is going absolutely perfect at the moment. Moving on to the next lap now, and you can see going a little bit deep, but we've got a nice little gap behind us now, so we've got a little bit of a no man's land at the moment. We can see making use of the feature, so I've actually got to box this lap, and with the race engineer, finally something I've been able to fix. So just changing a few settings, despite it being on, I just had to change it to all, enable it to not just the headset but from my TV as well, and that's actually fixed the problem. So you can see pushing it to the limit on the pit lane line there, that's something I hadn't actually practiced, but I managed to just nail it at that time. Coming into the pits now, we're going to go on the soft tyres, so we're actually pitting earlier. So we, compared to previous races on my league races in this game where we just completely ignored the conditions on my race engineer, we have actually put it into our own hands, actually used the race engineer for a weather report, and we actually are pitting early. And you can see we are in stone cold last at the moment. So you can see we're just going to stay on board here just to see if that will actually work out. But at the moment, really hard to tell. Gone a little bit deep into this corner, but we're still gripped. We've still got traction, so that just shows to me that it may be the right call. So we're going to move on to the next lap now, just to see if it is the right decision. We can see NASA in front of us now is really struggling for pace. So this would indicate to me that we've kind of made the right decision. Maybe should have gone a lap later in this. Would have been a little bit better, but you can see now we've got DRS, and whenever that happens, that means it is changing conditions. So it looks like we've actually made a smartish strategy call, which is something I just can't believe, really. But you can see that is us into 12th, and there's a few drivers that still stayed out. So they could be really punished, because it looks like, for me anyway, from driving and this, you can see how much grip we've got. And you know, when we've got this amount of grip, it definitely shows that we've got the top right tyre choice. We've got Hamilton ahead of us, and it looks like he's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. He's still sliding around a little bit in this McLaren, but he's got a little bit of traffic, so we really got trying to make the most of this. Now, I don't know who that is in front of him, in front of Hamilton, if I can even read that. I don't know if it's... Oh, it's Verline. It's Verline and Manor. And it looks like Lewis Hamilton's actually going to hold up a little bit down there. Go down the inside of him, and we've actually forced him out wide. He's not being way too cautious now. And we're going to try and get past Palmer. If he can get past him at this point and get a gap or get a car between myself and Hamilton, then that is great. And we've gone down and it looks like the drivers are just letting us go, because Palmer is still on the intermediates. You can see how much time he's losing here. But we're moving on to lap 9 now, and we've got Hamilton right up behind us, and there's not really that much we can do. The Mercedes straight line speed is just far too superior, but we're going to go try and fight him as much as possible. But again, not the usual Lewis Hamilton I've seen when racing. He's been very, very cautious in this race. Really just doesn't want to damage his wing or anything, because the damage on here in realistic is pretty not forgiving. As you can see now, he's got down the inside. I was made a little bit of contact with him, just checking to see if he's got any damage there, but there's nothing really you can do. And I was thinking at this point, really just better to just follow him and just try and use his pace while saving some fuel, because we're quite low on fuel as well. Just to really just build up the fuel load again, and try and use him, if we can stay with him with the DRS as well, try and use him to actually just bring out a gap to the cars behind, and maybe even to catch the cars ahead. But I'm not sure if he's net in the race lead, because I still think there's a few people who haven't pitted at the moment, unless it's just 2 Red Bulls out in front, which they are miles out in front. But we've got now, we can't really worry about that, because we've got actually Vettel right behind us now. A little bit of a corner cut there, which I was a bit surprised with, but now we've got Vettel behind us. And no, I don't think he's going to get us down this time. So all under control at the moment, and I think we'll be able to see if the guys ahead of us are going to be pitting, because there's still some people out. I don't know if anyone's still in the pits. Looks like there are at the moment, but we're going to try and stay with Hamilton to stay in his DRS. But it looks like Ricciardo is out there. He's done a 27, so that just shows how much pace he's actually got. And I don't know if anyone's coming out the pits. Don't think there is at the moment. It's Vettel. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to go try and down the inside of us, but we're just going to hold it around the outside, and that is Hamilton pretty much gone, because me and Vettel are battling, and that is that. So we'll go move on to the same lap now, with Vettel behind us once again on the medium tyres. So he's actually gone for a slightly different strategy. Pretty sure he can't finish the race on those tyres though, because they will degrade too much, as he's cutting right in front of us almost, and leaving the AI in this game are just not leaving you any room. Not as bad as product cars, but in this game it's kind of good that they are aggressive. But Vettel being very, very aggressive there, much more aggressive than Hamilton. And we've actually got Massa behind us on the super soft tyres. I don't know why he's actually gone on the super softs, but we're going to go try and down the inside of him again. But thinking about once again, I can see Ricciardo still pumping in the fastest laps. So coming on to lap 15 now, and we've got Verstappen behind us on the super soft. So I don't know if he's pitted again. He must have pitted again for the super soft tyres, but we're going to actually box this lap and go to the end on another set of softs, or maybe I should know it's medium that we've actually selected. So we're going to lead mix, going to the pits now. We could have maybe gone softs to the end, but I just think again. But watch this pit entry, how much time we don't leave on the table here. You can see absolutely on the limit, but Verstappen gets just as good entry, so it looks like he's been practicing his pit lane entries in the practice sessions here today. But we're going to go into our little box now and see what tyres. We're going to go in the medium tyres coming out of here, and we've been jumped. So this is pretty much like an AOR race, always getting the short straw. So we're going to try and stay with Verstappen, because we can't afford to let him get away. And it looks like his engineers copied our strategy, the medium strategy here, and he's gone a little bit out wide, so hopefully you can stay with him. So moving on to the start of the next lap, got a nice DRS on him now. I believe someone may be coming out of pits, maybe not. Coming into the turn 1, 4th gear through here, trying to get a really good exit. Dirty air is quite powerful in this game. DRS, and see if we can think about making a move down here, because it's like he's quite slow in a straight line. But we're going to go down the inside of him here, really force him out. So really just letting him know that we're not going to take any prisoners in this league, or in this league, in this championship. And that is us up into 8th place, which I believe would maybe be a net 6th or 5th at the moment. But we've got Grosjean in the Haas ahead of us now, and it's really important that we stay ahead of Verstappen because I really wanted to get ahead of him. So if I could catch Grosjean, then put a car between me and him before he pits, because that would just really just help my afternoon a lot more if I did do that. So you can see going to the middle of the straight and see how much speed the Red Bull's actually got, and you can see in just a slipstream they have on this. It's just absolutely crazy. Just go defend this, losing more time than necessary through there, and we're going to skip on to the next lap now again. And Verstappen, same move once again, but he's going to go try and down the inside, and we are trying so hard just not to let him get past, because if he got past, I'm pretty sure he would be able to just get away from there. And moving on to lap 21, Verstappen is still behind us, but it looks like we've got some other cars who may be coming into contention here, or maybe haven't pitted yet in front of us. There might be other cars and different strategies, because I thought we might be in the net 5th. So it might be Raikkonen who's still in the pits, and it looks like there is a car, and it is Raikkonen, and it looks like he's gone on the super soft tyres. So if we can just get out ahead of him and maybe get Verstappen past as well, hopefully maybe they can start battling. So we got past Raikkonen. Let's see what happens behind us. Can't quite see it. And it looks like Verstappen has got past him as well. So that worked out really well for us. And we're moving on to the next lap. And it's 3 abreast coming into this corner at the moment. Us through in the middle. And I don't know if Verstappen managed to get past. And Raikkonen has actually got past Verstappen, which is not good news for us, because I really wanted them to battle. Maybe even have a collision and then us to get away. So we are in 4th place at the moment. 4th place. Or one off a podium in our first race, and so from 13th to 4th is something I really didn't expect this. But Raikkonen, not really too much we can do, even with the rich mix, is just far too superior. That Mercedes engine compared to ours, or Mercedes Ferrari engine down the straight compared to ours. And you can see now we still have Verstappen. Look at the gap ahead of us. Raikkonen has truly, well and truly, just disappeared from us in this race. The fastest car on track at the moment, which is no surprise in super soft tyres. But Verstappen once again going down there inside, not leaving us much room. We're going to go hold it around the outside. Nice respect between both of us there. Really lucky there was no collision, but it looks like he's still attacking us. So he's driving very similar to what he does in real life. But go hold it down the inside, try and ease him out wide ever so slightly, and still manage to hold the 5th place in the race. And moving on to lap 27, 2 laps to go now. Verstappen down there inside once again, 4th gear, try and get a switch back on him, try and go around the outside, but it looks like he's going to have DRS on us again. So we really just, it's just a matter of the braking gap. And now we've got Massa with us as well. So we've got 3 cars here, going a little bit deep, making a little bit slight contact with Verstappen. That's allowed Massa to actually get past. And now Massa, with 1 lap to go, with that Williams straight line speed, Mercedes engine is going to go around the outside of us, but there's no way that's going to happen coming into through here. Last lap now, and that looks like that's put him off a little bit. He's actually gone out wide, and that is us pretty much securely in 5th place. But it looks like we've actually got into 4th place somehow, because I think Vettel has actually broken down from our race engineer was telling me beforehand, and that's us into 4th with a little bit of a train behind us. So if we had 1 more lap to go, this could have been very difficult, but it should be well and truly settled for 4th place in this one. So coming round the last corner now, Raikkonen couldn't get into the top 2, but he managed to finish 3rd. And I don't know who won the race, so I'm pretty sure it was Ricciardo. Us into 4th. And that is our first result in the career mode done. And that race was a really enjoyable race. As I said, much more enjoyable than I thought it would ever be. And I'm really looking forward to doing the rest of the season if I can upgrade my car, because Australia is probably one of my best tracks of mine, and particularly in the dry and the wet, with Daniel Ricciardo winning there. So this track is going to be one of my stronger tracks. Next track after this, or the few tracks after this, are definitely not my strong track. So we're going to have to see how we do around there. But 4th place, good for the championship, good for the points. Felipe Massa just finishing behind us. Looks a little bit disappointed there. And you can see it's Ricciardo, Hamilton, and then Raikkonen. So I don't know what happened to Rosberg. He must have had a collision with someone else, or he was just bustling it in the wet as usual. So that is us in our first career mode race. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Moving on to the next round after this, which is Bahrain. Track I'm not amazing at, but we'll see how it goes. So Ricciardo winning from there from Lewis Hamilton, quite close in the end actually, with us pretty much a half minute behind them. So that just shows the pace of the AI. Hopefully you can improve in the next few videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.
Pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. Red Bull moved to the top of the table. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye and see you again next time.